All right. Hello, everybody. Today we'll be working on assignment number 7, problem 1. But before we do so, just a quick note that I am using SOLIDWORKS 23 because that is the software that I currently have on my personal computer. I know most of you have been using SOLIDWORKS 24. Um, so there might be a slight difference between our softwares, but generally they're going to be very, very similar. So there shouldn't be any issues there. Um, so let's take a look at problem 1. To make this part, we are going to start a new part file. And before we start working on the problem, I would like to switch my units over to millimeters to match the units that are given in the problem. And this part here, it's a very simple part. It could be easily done in one sketch and one extrusion. So first we'll start by making this front face sketch here. So let's start a new sketch on the front plane. Um, I'm gonna make my circles first, so I will start with a center circle. So I'll just make a circle here. The radius for this one is not given to us. We're given the diameter. It is 19 units. And if we don't want to do any math, because SOLIDWORKS here is asking for the radius, not the diameter, we could type in our diameter and just divide it by 2. Very simple. This circle, I'm going to place it 30 units in the Y direction and 30 units in the X direction, which is based off this unit here. So I know I have another circle that shares the same center. I'll go ahead and lock onto that center, and I'll make my second circle. Let me hide these controls really fast. Okay. Let me make this second circle radius 30, because that's what's given to us in the drawing. And again, we share the same center, so it has the same position. Next, we can make our little circle, which is in line with the first two. Now, this one has a radius of 4, because it's given to us in by a diameter of 8. Now, this one I know is 48 units from this first circle. So if I know this circle is 30 units in the X direction, and this one should be 30 units plus the 48 given here. So that puts this circle where we want it to be. And now let's focus on the next set of circles, which are still in line with the rest. The first one we know has a diameter of 19. Uh, so let's do 19 divided by 2 to get our radius. It's in line with the rest, so it's also at a height of 30. However, this one is going to be 96 units past this first set of circles. So the same thing we did to the middle circle we'll do here. We'll do those 30 units plus the 96, and that'll put us at 126 units total. Now we know we have another circle that shares this center, and that one is of radius 18. Oh, keep having to hide this panel. Let me just move it over. I'm not sure if you'll be able to see it in the recording or not. I hope not. Let's hide that. Let's hide that. Okay. This circle is of radius 18, so it's where we want it to be. It's in the correct position. It's great. Now I will make this line here. So I know that line starts at this bottom quadrant. So I'll lock it in there. I'll make sure it's horizontal. And this line will be 36 units long. And I'll start a new line from the bottom quadrant of this circle over. And I know this line is going to end wherever the other one ended. So I'll make that line here. I'll connect them with a vertical line. Now, for this arc here that's shown to be radius 12, I would use a perimeter circle. I would make the first point tangent to this line, the second point tangent to this line, the third point is just going to be the radius. So before I change this radius to 12, and actually I'll show you guys what happens if you change this radius without fixing your other lines first. So let's just change this radius to 12 and pay close attention. You'll see that this radius is going to change, but also these lines are going to change with it. So you see it moved everything with it while changing the radius to 12. We don't want that to happen. So I'll go ahead and hit Control Z, which is going to be my undo button here. So it's going to undo what I just did. So now we're back to where we started. Before I change this radius, I want to lock in or fix the position of these lines. So I'll go ahead and right click on them and then make them fixed, turning them into a black color. So that's how we know they're fixed, and they have these little anchor constraints that show that they're fixed. Now that they're fixed, when we change our radius to 12, the only thing that should change is this circle. Nothing else should move with it. So that's what happened there. So it's a good thing to note. Now that we have this done, obviously we don't need the entire circle. We just need this arc portion here. So I'll use my trim feature. I will trim this half of the circle, and then I will also trim these two lines that I no longer need. Hit escape, and we have this bottom portion here. We could do the same thing to the top half. However, we could also use our mirror function to save us some time. Before we do that, let's go ahead and draw a line that splits the drawing down the middle. So this is going to be our mirroring line, which we will use now in our mirror function. So first, we're going to select what exactly we want to mirror. So we want to mirror this line, and this arc. I will leave the copy box checked off. What this box does, if it is checked off, what we're going to mirror will be duplicated, but also our originals will not be deleted. They will stay there. If we uncheck it, the originals will be deleted. So we want to keep our originals. Let's keep this checked off. So we have already highlighted what we want to mirror. Now we'll click on this mirror about box, which is going to ask us, what line do you want to mirror this over? Since we made our center line, we'll go ahead and select that one. And it's going to spit out a preview in yellow of what that will look like. That looks like what we want it to be. So I'll go ahead and hit OK to finish. And then we have that mirrored over. What we do from here, let's delete this line that we no longer need. We just needed that to mirror. Now that we're mirrored, we can get rid of it. And then finally, we can use our trim feature to trim these portions of these arcs that we no longer need, because we need this to be one open shaded area. It's perfect. Let's hit OK. So we're done with our sketch. What we'll do from here, if we hop on over to the Features tab and go to Extrude, click on that. That will extrude the sketch that we're currently working on. I would flip the direction of this extrusion. So right now it's being extruded towards us, which can be seen by this direction arrow. So I'm going to click on this to flip it to the back. So it's going to extrude in the opposite direction. Blind is the default feature here, and that lets you select or type in a specific numerical amount of how far we want to extrude this. Based on our side view here, we can see that this is going to be 10 millimeters thick. So we'll leave 10 millimeters here. I believe that would be it. And there is your part. Now, finally, before I just save it, I'm going to move on over to the isometric view just to show you guys that this is indeed the part that we were working on. And then finally save it, preferably something neat and organized, such as your name, whatever problem it is. And then we'll use this to turn in for the assignment. Thank you.